Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the National Guard Products number 14R DKB. This is a dark bronze anodized aluminum door bottom seal with a reinforced neoprene. Smells almost like car tire, even though this is a little bit different than car tire, and I don't know the exact chemical differences, but it's neoprene, synthetic rubber, and it's reinforced as evidenced by that crosshatch pattern that you see there. Now it's generally a door bottom is what this is. This will allow you to install the unit on both sides of the door, and this flap is going to literally reside underneath the door and seal across. Not uncommon at all to use these. In instances, I find people will use them in refrigeration sort of scenarios, where people want to keep a certain cold temperature on the interior of a room that wouldn't be refrigeration, but other industries that have a need to keep a lower temperature will use this. It can sweep across the bottom of the door, but there'll be a threshold where this isn't dragging on the floor the entire time, but when it makes contact with the threshold, it will flatten off and seal. I've also seen people use these as not necessarily this one, but the wider version, as a finger guard. I've seen this installed over the seam of a door and frame out the hinge side. Not that this is going to work for that. I would argue that this would be too small, but you can get the wider neoprene, like as if it was for a thicker door, and apply that all over the door and frame on the hinge side, and keep that pinch point away from hands, from fingers, where people have installed it like that. Okay? And your door, of course, just opens. I've seen that installed. I've also sold it to people for that application where they really wanted to help keep water out from getting in between that area. Now, the 14 is representative of this item. And when it's installed normally, you're dealing with a 3/4 inch dimension from the bottom of the door to the bottom of the seal. Here to where the bottom of the door would reside. Because of what this is, it's probably going to be a bit difficult to actually measure it accurately according to the drawing, because I can't really hold it properly. But I can tell you when it's flat, it's 4 inch. And I can tell you that the width of the aluminum holder is about 9/16. Okay. The aluminum on the DKB 14R is this item. The DKB is the dark bronze anodized. If you change that to an A, you'll get mil aluminum for the color of the aluminum. And if you change that to a B, you'll get a gold anodized. Okay? Gold anodized. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure where you can review this item along with a sister product that you might see as well, as it pertains to a heavy-duty style sweep. That would be the 81-369, even though that's really intended for overhead doors. I see people install that on doors that take an epic amount of volume, like the loading door in a theme park, doors that are used thousands of times a day. You'll see that heavy-duty application as well. No hard and fast rule where you're going to use this. If it solves your problem, you're good. This is listed in the site in lots of different lengths. This happens to be the length for a 3-foot door. If you need longer, and it's possible that you would, if you were doing something like maybe with an overhead door, you can have that probably up to 16.5 feet, something in that range. We just don't list longer than 8 foot because the cost to ship is generally prohibitive. However, if you have need for that length, you can figure out the cost of the material because it's sold per foot. But we'll have to quote the rate for you. Now, if you do have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field the length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now, the reasoning is, if you had to take this and cut it down, you might disrupt the self-adhesive that's holding the neoprene onto the back of the aluminum. You might cut off the slotted hole that's here. If you had to take this 3-foot piece and cut it down to 34 inch, you'd eliminate that slotted hole. There's one on the other side as well, and that slotted hole is nice to have because it will allow you to tailor this on the door to account for a sill that's not level or a door that's not plumb. So if you order a custom length, we'll not only give you that slotted hole at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. And speaking of those holes, screws are included in a complimentary finish. Okay, so very handy. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the National Guard products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the National Guard number 14R DKB reinforced neoprene door bottom for an 1 3/4 thick door, and you can change that 1 inch and 3/4 for a 2 1/4 inch thick door, that's available as well. If you have any questions on this 1 3/4 or a 2 1/4 version or any other National Guard product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.